Okay, at this point, I haven't figured out how to put music on yet. So I'm just learning how to use Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro. And so playing with settings, playing with my camera. Right here, you can see how I have the camera mounted invisibly in the car, so you can't see where it is, but I can basically pan around and look at anything in the car. And basically hands free. So there's nobody helping me here. I'm not doing anything but driving the car myself. And then all this video editing takes place afterwards, after the trip. So, I mean, I guess it would be nice to have some music, um, some background noise. I guess I could whistle. I'm sure at some point I'll figure out how to get the music to work. Right now, I'm just working on the video. Now, at this point in the video, the camera is mounted in the car, as you can see, but there's going to be a transition here after I park the car, and basically you'll see the video appears on the outside of the car. So now the camera's no longer in the car, and again, there's nobody helping me here. I'm driving this car, and it's really no problem. So I'm going to go up to the upper parking lot to unload my bike. Plenty of parking today. Although I did see a lot of people on the trail. So, as you know, as days go, it wasn't particularly calm. There was a lot of activity. Now, this is another transition where the camera got moved. Obviously, I'm not holding it, but I'm able to pan it and direct it. This isn't particularly interesting here. I thought maybe I should zoom in a little bit here on me because, I mean, you can see the people in the background, but not too much interest there. So I'm going to kind of be, I'll be narrating this, but probably it's for my own use, so probably going to be critiquing it as well. So I'm just kind of watching the scene and trying to figure out what I should do. Um, I could like follow this person ahead of me, and then that would direct the camera. Let's see how it goes down here. You can see the camera's pointing at this woman and behind me, and I'm basically riding the bike, so I'm not doing that. Uh, Obviously, all I'm doing is just riding my bike, but it's pretty neat, right? I mean, it looks like there's somebody on the back of my bike that's like moving the camera around and framing it up because I got both hands on the steering wheel right at this point as I'm riding. And I'm playing around with transitions and things like that, and just trying to learn how to use the software basically. So this is like an experimental video. It was a nice day. I'm not sure how interesting it would be though, just to watch somebody ride a bike for a long period of time. I mean, this video is pretty long, um, and basically it's just an experiment for me. But I am going to try out some of the special effects that are capable in this video, the very few that I know of. And if you're watching this for the first time and you get bored, just zoom ahead. You know, um, actually, it's for my information more than anything else. I'd play some music, but I'm afraid it wouldn't make it on YouTube because it's unless I have a license, I can't post it on there. And you can see now the camera is pointing behind me, and here's a transition, like a wipe between two different shots. And that's using the effect where I'm tracking those people there. So the camera tracked those people, and then it snapped back to the front view after passing them. I have tried some other video editors besides. I mean, this is Premiere Pro, which is a full-fledged editor that I'm using for this. But I tried some other cheaper, like not free, but editors that had royalty-free music to use. And although I liked them, they were just very limited. I have a lot of control with this Premiere Pro, way more than I basically understand here. And you saw some transitions there I was playing with. But one of the great things is music, uh, makes it a lot less boring to watch. I guess I could get out my guitar and play, but you probably wouldn't like that either. I need to get someone who knows how to play the guitar to play for me. I'm sure I'll figure out how to find some royalty free music, and maybe I'll add it to this video before I even post it. Um, so, all this talk that I'm doing about not having any music, and then basically there's music playing, duh. Well, that's what happened. I added the music later. But at the time when I'm doing the audio on this, I'm not capable of hearing any music. So it's just a quiet room for me right now. Some different transition there. I mean, I guess a lot of those transitions are just kind of cutesy, like artsy fartsy. Everybody's probably seen all of them, and I think more subtle ones are ones that people don't really realize are going on. If you just have a straight cut from one cut to the other, it's just not a good transition. And now in this part of the video, you can see the shadow of the camera on the end of a pole there. If you look down on the pavement. And I guess if you were trying to do a really professional job, you'd try to mitigate some of that, you know. But right now, this is just a test. I could have edited that out. There are actually tools where you can paint over it. Basically, you touch up the video, And maybe that's a good reason to leave it in so I can go back and try out some of those tools to take those things out. It's pretty amazing technology. I mean, I've always been interested in how these things get done. And I'm not so sure that I'm going to find out on my own through just exploration, but I'll probably have to do a lot of research to find out how to do some of these things. But this is my first video, and it's a video, so at least I've gotten that far. Now, that was kind of a jerky transition there. It's going from sitting still to riding, and I guess something has to break up the video though. Back on the road again. It's funny how many people I pass that have the same red shirt that I have. So it looks like maybe, is that supposed to be me going the other way? I mean, you can't really tell who it is. There's another person with a red shirt there. So, nope, it's not me. You'll see me, but all these people passing by are just other red shirts. You can see my helmet there. I'm constantly changing the position of the camera too, just to see what different angles look like. At this point, the camera pole is really kind of close to my head. I just wanted to see what that looks like. And basically, I'm editing out all those parts where I'm adjusting it. There's that same woman I pass it. That's what happens. They get ahead of me when I'm messing with my camera. So there's a lot of fiddling that went on the bike trail that you just don't see because I've edited it out. You probably hear the clicking of my mouse when I'm kind of scrolling through the settings here as it goes. So I wouldn't do that if I really, wanted to have a nice clean audio. In fact, I'd probably just have a separate setup. Right now, I'm just using the mic on my laptop, and it seems pretty good quality. I'll have to listen to it when I hear it for real. But yeah, these Apple computers really have some incredible video and audio capability. Okay, it looks like we're getting pretty close to the halfway mark here. I rode up to Loveland from Milford, and then after I got to Loveland, I decided, I'll ride a little bit further north from there, and there was a roadblock. And here's why I'm doing this sped up thing. I was speeding the video up kind of a different effect there. And yeah, it was a roadblock there. So you'll see at the end, I get to the end of the road. I couldn't go any further. So this is a place that we like to stop. There's the interstate goes over, and it's kind of interesting to look at the underside of the bridge and try to do a little bit of exploring, mainly just playing around with camera angles here. Wasn't really sure where I was going with this. I just thought, well, I'll walk down here to the edge of the river and just shoot a little video. Fortunately, there's some graffiti here, so I'm not sure what it says, but it's something to film. So I also took out my phone and I tried doing some video with my phone too during this time. You'll see one shot from above here and coming up where you can see I'm holding the phone, and I tried to like edit in the video for my phone and some pictures in this point here. So I was kind of thinking ahead what I was going to do, and um, I think I just bit off more than I could chew. I couldn't really get the tools to work, so um, I think I did put one video on the way back up to the trail from here that was from my phone. So if you see a difference in quality, it'll probably be a flatter. This is a really wide angle camera I'm using here. So on the walk back up to the trail from here, the video was shot on my phone instead of this 360 camera that I'm using right now. It's kind of neat to be down here. It's super calm today. I mean, there was no current, no water movement at all. It almost looks like a lake. So you can see my camera here. Like not my camera, my phone. And my intention was to take some of the video and splice it in somewhere. But I'll figure it out later. Okay, here you can see I'm using a different, this is my phone. That's why it's like the wrong size. It has that black border around there. I'll just leave it this way. I mean, I guess the difference here is it's a different resolution. And so when I spliced it in, it didn't fill out as much space because it has less pixels, maybe. It's my only thought there. But it was an experiment. I stopped by where they rent kayaks and did a little bit of shots here. I thought they were kind of interesting. They're colorful. Thought I would just shoot some video here, experiment with camera angles. Here I'm moving the camera inside, Pretty weird, right? Like, um, it almost looks like a drone flying around, but it's not. And one of the great things about this 360 technology is that you can change the camera angle. In other words, you can go from zoom to wide angle without changing lenses. You know, it's just one shot. So this is extremely wide angle right here. I don't know. Really wasn't much going on today, but just tried to get a little eye candy here around the boats. Um, okay, back to the trail. Okay, now I'm trying to film myself from the side here. So there was plenty of room over to the right for the camera. So I'm just kind of like seeing if I can see myself from the side. And, you know, works out okay. There again, you can see the shadow of the camera on the end of the pole. I mean, it's just a tiny little camera. Super lightweight. And at this point, I am riding with one hand and holding the camera with the other hand. So if I had a mount, I could mount the camera on the bike and then I could have both hands on the bike. But really, for a shot like this, you probably don't want to do that because if there was somebody standing on the side and you're got this big pole mounted there, you wouldn't be able to move it out of the way. You know, you'd run into somebody. So you do need to have a certain amount of control. And here's from above, looking down more. It's it's like I'm not sure if I like it or not. It might make you a little dizzy to watch this for a long time, and maybe not. I've gotten used to it, but it's interesting anyway. Now here I'm back to two hands on the handlebars, and uh, there's a belt that I'm wearing, this black belt, and on the belt there is a support that you attach the camera pole to. So that's basically what's going on here. It's not a drone following me, although it looks like it. But you can see the shadow there on the pavement. And so I look like an idiot riding down the bike trail with a big pole on my back. You know, these other people are probably thinking when I ride by, they're thinking, what's that guy up to, you know? Maybe. Well, anything for attention, I'll take it. I didn't realize that the camera was getting so close to the trees until after I got back looking at it. Yeah, some of those branches looks like I'm getting pretty close to them. There's another following deal where it followed those people and then snapped back to the front. It's kind of neat. And I'm also finding out that I think when people make films, they shoot a whole lot more film than what you ever see. Like this is a lot of this is a lot of time I'm spending here, and I could cut 2/3 of it out. And it'd be a lot more interesting because this is the same old boring stuff, you know. But I've got to experiment with it. So here's another. I have the pole now mounted in front of me. You can't see it, but it's like I turned it around, turned the belt around, and it's like on my chest. So I can put two hands on the handlebars, but instead of it being behind me, now above, it's more at eye level. And so I could come up with some interesting effects with that. So now you're getting ready to see some of the things I'm doing with it mounted like that. And again, if there were music, it'd be a lot easier to watch. Now, this is one of my fiddling things here. So fiddling with my camera. So I I have it in the same place. It's still in the front, okay, instead of on my back, but now it's higher. So you can look down at my hands from above. So before I couldn't really accomplish that because when it was behind me, you couldn't see my hands in the front. So this is kind of an interesting view here. It's like I I'm starting to like this. Going through a neighborhood here. You can see the shadow there, see? So it's basically as I'm riding, I'm looking out in front of me and I'm seeing this camera up ahead of me, but you can't see it in the video. Strange, right? Another following a person there. Now, this is probably a pretty good shot if you want to get the front of somebody to have the pole mounted out in front of you like that. There's a dissolve between two different cuts that I did. Looks like fall's on the way here. Lots of leaves on the path. It makes me kind of sad I didn't get to ride my bike, or I didn't ride my bike as much as I felt I could have. Seemed like it was either raining or too hot all summer. I don't know. I always had some excuse, but I always enjoy when I get out there. This was a perfect day for it. And I think it was, I don't know, 25 or 30 mile ride, something like that. Now, I don't know if I reused some footage from before or if I really passed that woman twice after that. I might have messed up here. This could be that we're looking at the same footage, although I don't remember seeing that flag go by before. But maybe with all the fiddling that I do, with my stopping and starting the camera, all that's being edited out. So I moved the camera back and back again. This time over to the right more to kind of get a over the shoulder shot. Going over the bridge over the water. And here I'm panning to the right, so I'm not basically looking ahead. I'm actually looking behind, like I have been doing a lot. But when you're when you're panning to the side, it looks kind of strange. It almost looks like two roads coming together, because of the distortion from the lens. Okay, if you're still with me, I think this is probably 2/3 of the way through, if not more. And I'm going to try some more effects here at the end because I'm getting tired of looking at the same footage. This is a microbrewery that got built during COVID, and so it's a brand new building. Now, this is like a super wide angle shot. I really haven't shown much of that type of thing. Then I'm going to play around with it's like a fisheye effect. So now you can see my arms more. It's basically the camera's kind of like on my chest, basically, or like between my arms. And so it's a little hard to ride sideways like this, but once you get upside down, it's anyway. Yeah, it was a fun ride. Let's put it that way. Kind of hard on your arms though to have them all stretched out like that. I guess that was kind of overdone there. Actually, I didn't plan on it being that much rolling around. I just didn't know what I was doing. So, and here's a super wide angle. It almost looks like I'm riding on a little sphere down there. And so I'm so distorted that, you know, very, it's a very fun look. I kind of try to go one way and the other is to see, it kind of makes me like turn weird when you do that. You can see my legs. Now I'm going to see how long I can make my arms. Here we go. So this is the top view here. And now I'm going to see if I can stretch my arms out some. Get a good stretch. Kind of looks like I'm bow-legged there. You can kind of see the belt I'm wearing. So it's black, so it kind of blends in with my pants. Now my arms are getting pretty long. Yeah, that's a pretty good stretch there. Yeah. Whoops. I guess I'm upside down. Well, yeah, maybe I can straighten back up here. Okay. Not sure how that happened. Actually, I am pretty sure how it happened, but it's hard to explain. This is sort of a natural look, you know. Basically, this is probably the most accurate look. Like, this is what I see when I'm riding a bike. I'm looking down and I'm seeing my handlebars and I'm riding along. So, this is kind of a natural look here. And again, um, I know this is boring because all I'm doing is riding a bike, but it's just an experiment. Now you can see if you look really far in the, there's a tower up there. That's the old ammunition factory. And basically what they've done is, we're going to get there in a second. They blocked the trail off, so this is going to be the end here. Uh, it comes to an end because I can't ride any further. So I just, at this point, I just turned around and went back. But they've got a microbrewery they've built there too, and they're doing a lot of. They've done completely rebuilt this place. It used to be a dilapidated old, warehouse. Now it's windows everywhere. They've done a lot of work on it. But I don't know. I don't know if this has something to do with their construction project or they're working on something else. They have a big crane here, so I don't know if they're putting a bridge in or something. I don't know. Anyway, so basically that's it, and thanks for watching.